Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram. We heard the conversation between Yadnavalkya and Janakaraja. Janakaraja had requested Yadnavalkya to bless him. Okay, bless him with the wisdom of self-realization, Atma-jnana. Janakaraja, so far Yadnavalkya has told everything about the nature of non-dual reality and comparing it with the deep sleep. So after that also Janakaraja is not satisfied. He is asking one more question. Please tell me more. Now Yadnavalkya is a bit worried now. What has to be told? Okay, right? And he has given already what is that? Kama Prashna, Vara for Kama Prashna means whenever he asks a question, Yadnavalkya is bound to answer. So Janakaraja is asking me, tell me further, what will happen at the time of death? Is the question. Okay. So now Yadnavalkya is explains him. Tadyathanah Susamahita Utsarjad Yayad Evamevayam Shira Atma Pradnena Atmana Anvaruda Utsarjan Yati Yatraita Tadurda Uchvasi Bhavati 4.3.35. So here what he says, at the time of death, a bullock cart makes sound. The sound is gada 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 sound. When the bullock cart goes, it has no rubber wheels. It is no tubes, right? Wheels. The wheels are there, but the wheels make sound.
No tire.
No tire. No tire. So it keeps making sound, gada 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 sound. Like that, the body, the jiva, the individual soul, at the time of death shakes before leaving the body. And he starts breathing, heavy breathing before leaving the body. Then the jiva moves from one body to other body. The jiva, individual soul, moves from one body to other body, supported by pradna, universal consciousness, Brahman. So the Yadnavalkya is now teaching about the death, what happens at the time of death. Why teaching about death is required? For people to understand, because death is something which we are afraid of. Most of the people are afraid, or people are afraid of death. All our life is somewhere centered around death. We have, even though we don't call it as death, we deep inside our heart or mind, there's a feeling that all this will come to an end. So let me do whatever is best, whatever I can do in this given time. Okay, there's a fear of, which we may express in different ways, which may not express. Okay, so I want to have children because this body will die. At least somebody like me will continue. So like that, the death is at the background of having children, right? Somebody wants to make a name, so I will die, but my name should continue. Okay. And anytime when we do something, we always have a death as a background, because we want to continue, prolong our identity in some way. We may not say so, but that's how is in the background, right? And then something we plan. Okay, I want to go to a tourist place next year. So that means deep inside my mind, I'm not going to die before that. We are postponing death. Either postponing death or expecting death is in the background of our mind. And death is fearful for most of all of us, because we have to leave everything what we have, right? And then go. There's nobody will come, no relatives will come, no friends will come. And this is how we came into the world. When we came, there was nothing with us. We came all alone. And when we go, we'll go all alone. Okay. And whatever we acquire here, nothing will go. Nothing will come with us. Neither money, nor house, nor building, nothing will come with us when we leave. When we came empty-handed, and when we go, we'll empty-handed. But while going empty-handed, there's a fear, there's a stress, because all these things I earned it with a lot of I put a lot of effort, no? I made a lot of effort to earn all these things. So I have to leave this and go. So like that, the feeling of death is there in the background of everybody's mind, whether they say it or not. And death is something which is fearful. Okay? Because whatever you know will go. You are moving into unknown. It's like now, imagine you are living in Bangalore in a familiar circumstance, friends and relatives. Suddenly you have to go to a place where you don't know anybody. Okay? You don't know what is there, unknown place. There will be fear. Okay? So death causes tremendous fear for the jiva. And while leaving the body, the jiva will be shaking. How will be shaking? He gives an example. The bullock cart, okay, keeps making sound, gada 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 sound it makes. So like that, jiva will be shaking, afraid for leaving the body. Death and deep sleep are almost similar, except that in the death, deep sleep, the prana will be the body, the pranic energy will be continuing in the body. So the jiva knows in the sleep that I am able to come back and take the body, because the prana is not leaving. The vital energy is still left in the, okay. Whereas in case of death, the vital energy is being withdrawn. So the body is, you are withdrawing the vital energy from the body. So you are leaving the body. That also the understanding is there. Okay. And then he leaves, because and he keeps traveling in samsara. Samsara means samsara is actually something which keeps moving. Okay, something which keeps moving. Okay, in the waking state we go to dream state we go to deep sleep state we will come to waking state, and we are born, and then we'll grow up and we die and again take birth. So this process of continuity of life from one body to other body, one experience to other experience, is called samsara. There's a very strange, there's one custom in Indian houses. I don't know how many of them follow. When the child is born, okay, in the house, they say, they declare mailige. What do you call this in English? Mailige means it's inauspicious. Okay, so the birth is joyful, but the family members celebrate it as inauspiciousness. 10 days of inauspiciousness is called mailige in Kannada. Okay, and when a person dies, then also you call it as inauspicious and celebrate several months as inauspicious, mailige. How come birth is also mailige? Birth also is inauspicious and death is also inauspicious. Okay, so how come birth is also inauspicious and death is also inauspicious? One should be inauspicious, either birth or death, but both are treated as inauspicious or mailige. Okay, and mailige in the
Purnima is called impurity.
Impurity. Okay, mailige is called impurity. Okay, in a family, when the child is born, there's impurity in the family, and when somebody dies, there's impurity in the family. That's called mailige. How come we are associating birth and death as mailige? The birth is considered as mailige, or inauspicious because the jiva, individual consciousness, which is pure, which is actually Brahman, which has no impurity, it makes a contact with the new body. The body is matter. Okay.
Then my living.
Anyway, body, the body is actually, body is called, considered as, body is made up of matter. And the moment you make a contact with matter, okay, the jiva gets trapped in matter, and he'll go through whole lot of cycle of birth and death. So, so it's see they are thinking of ancestors, right? They'll distribute the sweets and all, and the child is born, but immediately they celebrate it as a inauspicious or rather impurity. Okay, impurity is for the jiva, which is soul, which is born. Okay, now when he dies, he leaves the impurity for the family and goes. The body. when the soul is born, when the jiva soul is born, it is making a contact with the body and it becomes impure. The soul has contaminated contact with impurity. It is not really becomes impure. It actually associates with the body. Okay, that family members consider as impurity for the soul. At the time of death, the soul leaves the body and goes. Body is impure. That impurity is left at home for you to handle it. Okay, so the connection with the matter is called impurity, and this is what is required. This is what you takes from birth to death and cycle of what you call transmigration cycle. Punarapi janana, punarapi marana, punarapi janani, jatare shayana.
Satyavati is saying every day we sleep with a planning for next day morning, breakfast, everything.
Yeah.
So hoping that we'll wake up next day morning.
Right.
For sure. So something like postponing death.
Yeah. That's right. So the death can come any point of time. Okay, death, there is no. Actually, we live in cities and we have a more secure life. For animals in the forest, death can come anytime. While sleeping also, death can come, because we have built some securities around that may not happen. Do you know one thing? Birds, many of the birds can sleep with one eye open. Okay, they don't close both the eyes. They keep one eye open and one eye closed, because anytime a prey can, anytime that prey can come and capture them. So they keep half sleep with one eye open, with the other eyes they watch for danger. Okay, so the death can come any form, anytime, right? And every time when you make a planning, we are almost postponing the death. Mentally we are postponing death. I will not die, that's a harmless. And when we make some long-term plans, actually we are planning for death, including insurance and having a child, or making creating a name for myself, and doing good karma. Some people do good karma thinking that next life they will get a better life. Okay, or they go to heaven. So like that, most of our life, we constantly, death is in the background of our mind. Okay, even though we don't say explicitly think like that, when we go to sleep, we have plans for tomorrow. That means we know that death will not come tomorrow, but there's no such guarantee. But there is always hope that will not come tomorrow. So like that, death is something which goes constantly in the mind of the jiva, individual conscious soul, unconsciously. And when he leaves the body, there's a tremendous suffering, because you are leaving a lot of things which you have gained here. You made, how much money, how much effort was there to get married, have children, bring up the children, to get the house, okay, to get the car, to get the promotion, to get the job. All those things, whatever effort is put, everything is going, that he understands. That's why there's a fear. Okay, and the place we are going new is unknown, and you'll start from scratch again. Everything is going. Okay. So from that perspective, the jiva or the individual soul is afraid at the time of death.
You say it's shaking out of fear. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Fear and uncomfort. Right. This is not true in case of a gnani. Okay. For a gnani, while he is alive, he has seen beyond death. He has gone beyond birth and death. Okay. For them, there's no fear of death. In fact, death he'll embrace with joy. Because death is just dropping the body. He knows he has no birth and no death. He has no further births also.
He has no accumulations.
And he has actually he is so detached in life that he knows nothing belongs to him. Really, nothing belongs to you. Okay. We are all like passengers. For a duration of our journey, some facility has been given to us, but nothing belongs to us. It is like a rented house, right? In the rented house, when you leave, you cannot take liberty. It belongs to someone else. I used to live in a rented house, and if I have to hit a nail on the wall, I have to take permission of the owner. And if I hit a nail on the wall without the permission of the owner will come and shout at me. And the house doesn't belong to me. And always it's clear that one day or the other day I will have to leave. Same thing is true for us. The body is a house. Okay. And all possessions are rented for a certain duration. Only difference is in any other renting, there's a lease clause. How many months or how many years leasing. In this case, there's no guarantee of lease period also. When the lease will be terminated, you don't know. Okay, it can happen anytime. So that's where the constantly at the back of the mind, the planning will be going on for every soul. They may not say it's death, but background is already there. Every decision which you take, either you're postponing death, or every decision you take, you're taking a backup or guarantee against death. Okay. So, in case of a person who is not realized his self, the journey, the time of living is painful. There's a lot of stress. Okay. Natural, no? Here itself, while living itself, if you have to go from one place to other place, drop everything what you have and go to other place, there's a lot of pain. Now imagine whatever you have done in your life, whatever experience you have in life, you are living. Whatever you have, it's complete wipeout. So there's a fear, there's a pain. So there's a shaking happens. But does he go without anything? He cannot take any material things like house, family, vehicle, husband, wife, relationship. None of them will go. Okay. He cannot take the matter, the objects. But what he takes good merit and sin, papa and punya he takes. Because subtle body is moving with him. The subtle body carries the impressions of papa and punya. And whatever dharma and adharma he has followed, that also will go with him. The deep-rooted impressions of righteousness, unrighteousness, papa, punya, dharma, adharma. This understanding will be there person who is dying. For him, it's very obvious at the time of death, it's obvious to him that all the things which he possessed will go. But also he knows his impressions. Those impressions will come with him, he knows at the time of death. He is carrying that impression. So then the breathing will start. Pradnanatma, which is actually pure awareness. Pure awareness is always there. So pure awareness, with the pure awareness and the pranas, he will move. Of course, the jiva doesn't know, the individual soul doesn't know that Brahman or Pradnanatma is there with me all the time because he is not realized in his lifetime. He knows only he is traveling alone. there will be a pain when the pranas leave the body. So what happens? Devatas leave the body first. Okay, the body starts becoming cold. The legs, hands, the sense organs too start losing their ability. The sense organs, eyes, each sense organ is governed by a devata. The body, the leg, the hands, eyes, each of them is governed. Devata starts withdrawing. They actually move first, because the moment prana starts leaving the body, devata start moving. The consciousness associated with the organs. So Chakshu, eye, has a devata called Surya Devata, Chakshu Devata. Chakshu Devata leaves. Then various other devatas associated with the body start living. Then the prana gets concentrated in the heart area, because see, when somebody is dying, all other functions stop, but still heart will keep beating for some time. The prana gets concentrated in the heart area. Okay. And for him, because of his karmic impressions, the last impressions which he has, already a body will be created for him. A suitable body will be ready. The karmic law of karma will operate in such a way that the moment he is ready to leave the prana, that's a body which is suitable body, either in heaven or hell on the earthly plane. A body suitable will be already ready somewhere. Okay. The example given for this is, when a king goes from one city to other city, the people in the other city keep everything ready for the king. The king is coming. Okay, they'll keep a place to sit, and the place where king will rest his vehicle. All those things are kept ready before the king comes from one place to other place, or a minister nowadays. Like that, when the soul comes from one body to other body, the place will be kept ready for him, either heaven or hell or a human body, based on his karmic impressions. Okay, and with that, the soul leaves the body, jiva leaves the body, and while at the time of leaving the body, he will be trembling, afraid, just like a bullock cart makes gada 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 sound. So this is told to tell us how the death of a person who has not attained that maturity or atma when he is alive. Okay, so death is a painful for the soul, or painful for the jiva, in case of a person who has not self-realized. Whereas in case of a person who is self-realized, it is very joyful. Okay, he is like a burden which is left on him. Body is like a burden. Sri Ramana Maharshi says, okay, body is like a burden. As long as it is there, you have to carry it, or carry it like a luggage. The death is so joyful because you are dropping the luggage and going. A person who is liberated is okay. This is like okay, a person failing in the exam. Okay, he fails in the exam, he cries because he has to again repeat the class. Okay, all right. This is like Adnani. He has to repeat. He has to take another birth as a man and start from scratch. Whereas Gnani is like a person who has got already rank. So he just throws up his books and all goes. He's joyful. So because he knows that he doesn't have to repeat the exam, he doesn't have to come to the college again. So this is the difference between death of a Gnani and death of a Adnani, ignorant person.
Jyoti is saying it's called Sutaka in
Sutaka. What did I say?
Mailige
and Sutaka same. Decided to carry the books or not?
But I decided to throw the books and carry it.
Continue next step.
Wait, Janka wants to know this death about it.
He wants to know everything about
Gnani.
No, he wants to know everything about Mukti. And this is for other people. Adnanis, you have to understand the importance of Gnana. The questions are for the people in the Sabhe, that Asthana. They should know what happens if you don't get Gnana and go die. Okay. So, what will happen for the person who is dying? Next question. What is the process of death? As I told you, at the time of death, the jiva has to leave the body, right? The leaving the body means pranas have to be withdrawn. We have 5 layers, 5 koshas: annamaya kosha, pranamaya kosha, manomaya kosha, vijnanamaya kosha, anandamaya kosha. Pranamaya kosha is prana is used for controlling the body. The prana is used for the controlling the body. You can think it's like more like a steering wheel or something like that. So the jiva is taking the prana while going to the next leap. The jiva soul is taking the prana, vital energy, for going to next body, because it requires that prana to control the body, next body. Okay. At the time of sleep, the jiva, the individual soul, merges with Brahman, but it doesn't take prana. Prana it lives in the body because it knows it has to come back. The ignorance is not gone.
Does it need the prana in between the transition time also, going from one body to another? It requires, right?
It is taking the prana. Prana only is taking that. Prana is the energy which takes. Okay. So as the prana, when first the process of death is explained, right? As the person becomes old, okay, one by one the body functions start deteriorating. The control over the body starts going. That means prana controlling the legs, eyes, they start weakening. Okay, you can see many people as they become old, there's no energy for them to move around. Okay, some people will lose the hearing because the devata related hearing is already left before even the prana, before the death time comes. Also, devata of hearing is left. Okay, some people lose the memory. The devata responsible for memory is already left. Eyesight start diminishing. Okay, as the death approaches, the all the pranas merge with mukhya prana, the main prana. Okay, the 5 pranas are the aprana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. The 5 pranas merge into one prana, and that one prana will get concentrated in the heart center, because heart is still beating, life force is there. Everything else starts becoming cold. Okay, and because all devatas are left, all devatas related sense organs are left, the jiva, individual soul, is not able to see something, hear something. All these sensations are gone. Hearing, seeing, everything is gone. Okay. Then a light opens up at the heart center. The light is actually the Taijasa, the light, the consciousness, guiding the jiva out from the body, guiding the individual soul from the body. Many people who go through death experience, they explain that they see a tunnel of light. There's a tunnel of light which opens from the heart center. Okay. And then the jiva can go from any part of the body. Okay, there are openings in the body. How many openings are there in the body?
9.
Navadware Purishe. 9 openings are there. 5 organs of action and 5 sense organs. Okay. The prana can go through any of these organs. Right? When you say prana goes through any organs, prana is actually conditioning of the consciousness. Okay. Somebody whose life is always focused on sex, his prana can live through sex center. Okay. Somebody is focused on food all the time, the prana can live through mouth. Prana means ultimately energy channel. Prana is the energy. So energy is like water, right? If water keeps flowing in the town, okay, rainwater keeps flowing, it creates some marks. Okay. Next time rain also comes. Next time rain comes, it also, next time there's a rain, it also flows in the mark. A river bed, right? River keeps flowing and leaves a mark. Like the prana, throughout your life, how you are using the prana, that leaves a root, path. And at the time of death, the most used path is taken. A predominantly sex-oriented person will leave the prana, will leave the vital energy through sex organs. Or it may be through the anus, the lower organs. Okay. Somebody who has a lot of desire for food may leave the body through prana. Somebody who is very interested in the world, okay, he is always, eyes are looking for attractive things in the world, may leave the body through eyes opening. Very few people leave the body through Ajna Chakra or Sahasrara. Okay.
Ajna Chakra, why?
Huh?
Why? What is it?
Yeah, a person who if a person who has meditated throughout his life on the Ajna center or Sahasrara, Upasana. This is called Upasana. Okay, there's a Upasana of Devata. People do Upasana of Shiva. Marjorie Shiva at Adna Sahasrara. Shakti Upasana or Devata Upasana they do through these centers, these 2 centers, Adna and Sahasrara. These are called higher centers. One who does Upasana through these higher centers, the energy channel is set there because of every day he does that. Right? It can,
That root is already made.
That root is already opened up. Otherwise, what will happen? At the time of death, it won't open up. Okay. So what will happen? He leaves the body through that Adna or Sahasrara. Leaving the body through Adna or Sahasrara is considered as a great death. Because then he is not born in the lower level lokas, the lower level planes. A person who is going through the lower level organs of the body, the death, he will be born in the lower level planets, lower planes. A person who is going through higher level centers of the body, Adna and Sahasrara, he will be born in the higher planes where there is no return required. No return is there.
These sense organs, mouth or ears or nose.
Huh.
If they leave, they will be on the earth only.
Yeah, I mean they will be either
lower is lower lokas, higher is higher lokas.
Yeah, some of these centers will be in the earth plane. Okay. So like that, the death through the Adna center or Sahasrara is considered as auspicious, very auspicious. So there is a tradition. In some of the families in India, or even monks. Some of the monks, when the monks die, when the monks or family members die, they bring a coconut and break the head open. Okay, to allow the prana to go through that point. Okay, the head is broken. Okay, after death, not at the time of death. No, I mean they don't break the coconut to kill the person. So they break the coconut to after death is over to unlock. Actually, it's not that this thing. A person who has done meditated, person has done upasana, a person whose Adna Chakra and Sahasrara is opened, and they experience the vibration throughout their life, and they do upasana on that, their death, at the time of death, automatically the prana moves through there and they'll reach higher level loka. This is the path which is available for reaching the Brahma Loka. So this typically happens when the Kundalini is awakened through the grace of the master. You can experience the vibration at the Adna and Sahasrara. But you should respect that and you do upasana on that. So that will become your route for going to higher level Loka at the time of death. That center gets opened up. That channel gets opened up. Okay. So this is how the death happens. The person who goes through the lower level centers surely will go through a lot of suffering in the lower planes. The person who goes through the middle level, the eyes and mouth and no ears will go to earth plane or heaven. And only one person who goes through Adna will go to higher level planes, and Sahasrara will go to highest plane. Even that is not liberation, that's not mukti. Okay, it's actually, I have already told, there's a passage to Brahma Loka. Okay, the higher level plane of existence, Brahma Loka. The mukti, Jivan Mukta has, for a Jivan Mukta, prana doesn't go anywhere. There's nowhere to go because there's no desire to acquire another body. So that's why it's always meditate on your Sahasrara center. That's a great opening, the great gate. If you daily meditate on that, that gate will be open. At the time of that, just doesn't open like that. What is it? So, and then what happens? His good merit and sin, the papa and punya, will take him to either heaven or hell, where he will make a journey. If you have lived your life in a good way, in a dharmic way, you have spent your life in japa, tapa, sadhana, punya, and you have become free from karma, always it is possible to go to a higher plane of existence. It doesn't say it's mukti or liberation, but at least less of suffering compared to earthly and other planes. So what things he cannot take? He cannot take any objects. He cannot take the house, he cannot have relatives, he cannot have family members, job, position, power, nothing will come with him. What comes with him? His karma comes with him, good karma and bad karma. Sanchita, Agami karma. Okay, Agami karma and Sanchita karma, which is there. And Vidya comes with him. Vidya means the knowledge acquired, spiritual knowledge and general knowledge. Whatever knowledge he has acquired in the world. In this life, he has been a businessman or merchant. Next life, if he is a businessman or merchant in this life, next life he'll start with a good background of business. He doesn't have to start from scratch. Right? So I know some children, right? One child, from a young age, it shows a lot of ability in the business. And the family members don't have business ability. He has a lot of business acumen. So surely there's a good the wisdom acquired in the past life. Then another child I know is very good in this thing. What is it? Vehicle design, car design. From the age of 2 or 3, he starts doing automotive design, very advanced automotive designs. Definitely, family members don't even know what is automotive parts. The child knows, and child has not seen through TV or movie or internet. Child start buying various automotive vehicles which are manufactured in Germany and all. Must have been an automotive designer in the past life. So some of the knowledge which you have acquired, vidya, okay, that will start you, that come in the next life. And of course, the spiritual knowledge, adhyatma vidya, whatever your spiritual knowledge you have acquired in this life will be a starting point for your next life. All Upanishads, Vedas, Bhagavad Gita, what you read, okay, then next life you don't have to start from beginning. You have already the base. Okay, you can proceed further. That's why Sri Krishna says, whatever sadhana you have done in this life will not go waste. Okay, there's a story in Osho's life. Osho, when he was born, the story is the Osho Rajneesh, when he was born, it seems he didn't drink the mother's milk for 8 days. Okay, 8 days he didn't drink the mother's milk. So somebody later in Osho's life, Osho asked him, why did you drink the mother's milk 8 days? He said, in the previous life, I was a Buddhist monk. Okay, and as a Buddhist monk, I had taken something like 21 days of fasting, upavasa, as a vrata, and he died on the 13th day. 8 days of fasting was pending, and once he was born, he completed the 8 days of. So what happens? As the person becomes more and more evolved in spirituality, he will retain the continuity of his past life. Many people, it will become discontinuous, they'll forget. Whereas a more advanced soul will have a continuity of past life memories, and they will continue from straight from there. Okay, so like that, shloka. Yeah. So then he takes vidya, which is knowledge. Vidya includes paravidya and aparavidya. Aparavidya means whatever he is doing for survival. Aparavidya, medical, engineering, all those things. The soul will be able to take the knowledge of a good amount of knowledge of that. He may not know exact subject, but next life when he starts, he'll have the basic already. Okay. So then the knowledge of Atma-jnana, the self-realization, whatever Upanishads, Vedas you have studied, all those things will not go waste. That will go. Karma will go. And Purva Pradna means at the time of death, not only the impressions of this life, the past life impressions which are required to take you further also will come. It's like the life is a series of continuity. So 2 lives before, 3 lives before, whatever you did, all of them will now come. Now what is next to be done? It will take. So like that, at the time of death, you leave many things behind, but what you can carry is good punya, jnana, atma-jnana, okay, and knowledge you acquired in your profession. Those things you carry. So while we are alive, we should spend our life in such a way that by listen to as much as possible atma-jnana, self-knowledge, spend our time in shravana, manana, nididhyasa, purify ourselves. By grace, we may have liberation and enlightenment this lifetime, then there's no question of rebirth. Because of some prarabdha karma, if you have to go for next birth, we don't have to worry, because we start from a very the knowledge or understanding which is very high. So from childhood itself, we'll be able to start off with our spiritual practices. So just to tell about this thing. When I was a child, I was very much attracted by yoga postures. When other kids are playing, I used to try to master yoga postures. Okay. There's nobody to teach yoga, but I used to try to learn yoga postures. All this came from past life. Many of the understandings of what I have in this life are a continuation of whatever I have done in past life. And what I am doing is now is actually making insurance for the next life, if it is there. Whatever I am teaching, okay, whatever I am teaching, I know very well that it will be carried forward to next life if I take a rebirth. ಅಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ this is the way you have to live your life. I'm not saying if I have no birth, that's a different question. But when I tell you people, I have to tell why you have to do. In fact, all these things is not my this life's understanding. Actually, now I know and I know this. I don't have to go through it. Actually, in fact, the morning I get up and just go through one sloka and then. Oh, the sloka I didn't tell, no? I just continue.
I was asking
Yeah.
it's going on.
Tamutkramantam prano anukramati pranam anukramatam gatam sarve prana anukramanti savidnano bhavati savidnanameva anvakramati tam vidya karmani savanvarabate purva pradnacha. So once he starts leaving the body, the prana takes him. With prana he goes. Along with the main prana, mukhya prana, all other pranas also go. He goes with savidnana, means he goes with knowledge. Please understand that he doesn't go as ignorant. Whatever knowledge of science, medicine, and whatever is required for this thing, a significant portion of that will become a background for him in next life. Okay. Then, of course, whatever sadhana you have done, whatever spiritual practice you have done, whatever atmadana you have done, atmadana you have acquired, whatever Upanishads and Vedanta you have learned, all those things will become part of your jnana, savidnana. Then vidya and karma, they follow him. And purva pradne, and what he has done in the past lives, that also will be there. So it's not that, okay, this life I did something and past life is gone. No, the past, there is a continuity of past life also. So all those things will follow him for the next life. And next life is waiting for him, either heaven or hell or the earth. Okay, a body is waiting for him based on his karmic impressions. If it is Atmadnani, he doesn't go anywhere. He merges with Brahman wherever he is at the time of death. Atmadnani, a self-realized person, leaves the body joyfully because a body was a burden for him to be carried around. So now it's dropped. Whereas Adnani, he goes crying because he has whatever he had acquired, most of things are, all those things are gone. Right? So then there is a difference in the way Adnani's body is buried, Adnani's body is cremated, and Adnani's body is cremated. In Sanatana Dharma, we have a system where a person who dies, his body is burnt, is offered to fire, cremated, right? Because, as I told earlier, the body is impure. He has left the impurity and he has traveled. The impure body has to be burnt. But Gnani, he has merged with Brahman in the same body. The body has become pure. The body is the center where Gnani has merged with the Atma, with the Paramatma. So Gnani's body is sacred. So that's why for a Gnani or Sannyasi, the body is not burnt. It is actually a samadhi is built around the body because the body is not pure, impure. Body is pure now. Because the jiva, the individual soul, has merged with Paramatma in that body. That's how we have Mantralaya of Raghavan Swami and many of the samadhi sthala. Adnani's body is not impure, whereas Adnani's body is impure. In that sense. Any questions?